Good morning and welcome to day 7 of your Toned in 20x2 challenge. I am so thrilled that yesterday's post finally worked out and that today's is going online in time. Woo, to the powers that be. All right, so let's get this flow started. Today is your second time doing upper body yoga and Pilates. I love you too. Would you like to hop up in a chair while I do work? This is Irie if you haven't met her yet. She's my little ride or die. And she's gonna hang out while we practice. Sit, stay, and stay cute. She can't help that one. All right, so turning over onto hands and knees, making sure that the knees are right under the hips, and let's come onto the knuckles if that feels all right for you. You don't need any props today unless you want, you know what, I'm going to turn around just so we can have light on what's moving, on the moving parts and on my face in case you're trying to connect the words. And sometimes I have a hard time hearing myself and I have to watch someone's mouth move. So I'm with you if that's where you're at. All right, apparently now it's puppy play time. Shoulders right over wrists. Hips right over knees, and we're going to start with something that I like to call lion stalking. So let's keep it simple at first, shifting the shoulders all the way to one side and then all the way to the other. So if you were to see this from the front, where my dogs really, when I film in the afternoon, they are like not cooperative. So it kind of looks like that, okay? So I'm going to turn back to the side because we'll be adding new directions to this. And let's go strong to the right and then strong to the left. And if this doesn't feel good on your knuckles, you can certainly place the palms down and stretch the fingers. Either one is fine. I personally just like to be a little higher up from the ground, and that's my body. So shifting strong to the right, strong to the left. Let's go one more time. And if you are on the knuckles, really make it a point to push through the tip of the thumb so that you're not stuck in the individual joint knuckles. And then let's come center. Now we're shifting forward, forward, forward past the wrists and backwards, backwards, backwards. So even though normally this would be about creating mobility in the wrists, today we're just asking the abs to kind of like tick-tock on in different directions, do a little guesswork, and our shoulders are actually getting the most mobility because they're doing something called the glenohumeral glide, which is moving sort of in and out of their traditional stations, and then sliding down the back, moving a little bit up towards the ears, a little elevation, a little depression. And then let's see if we can play with circles here. Go around in one direction and then around in the other. And then maybe move in figure eights, which really is where the sort of idea of being a lion stalking comes in. You can kind of feel this broad walk, this power gait. Give me 3 more each side for 3. And 2. She picks quite a place, right? 1 more right, 1 more left. And then if you're up on the knuckles, make sure you come down flat on the palms. And go get that toy. Walk the hands forward just a little bit ahead of the shoulders. And let's start a basic push-up. So keeping the hips back over the knees, we're lowering down, stretching the fingers, taking the elbows wide, and then push the mat forward to come up. So lower, 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 lift, lift, lift. We have 3 more, just beginning to wake up. Now the wrists, if you were up on the knuckles. Now the triceps. And reaching through the pointer fingers and the thumbs forward and towards each other to get a more dynamic connection and intentional reach into the earth. All right, I know you don't know which way that went, huh? Now keep the arms a little bit, the hands a little ahead of the shoulders, the ankles nice and long. Bend wide, Hug the elbows underneath towards each other. This is going to feel like a lot of work in the triceps. Push the ground forward, 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 and fight it with the press of your ankles against the ground until your elbows are nice and long and lifted. And then pull like you're tugging on the mat right underneath your armpit, getting into teres muscles and also a little bit of latissimus. Let's do that 2 more times. So bend wide, kiss your puppy, hug the biceps towards the heart, push the mat forward and resist with the pressure of the tops of your feet on the ground, and then pull your body forward using the shoulder blades sliding down the spine. 1 more time. Wide, swing, hug, keep hugging, hugging, hugging. Push forward as you do. Feel the triceps really engage, and then pull your whole body forward, nice and strong. Amazing. Let's shift on to the side. So we're going into a low side plank. Start with the knees bent. We'll have the top foot staggered in the back. That doesn't mean the hip rolls back, so keep your right hip stacked on top of your left one. Press into the fingers, the wrist, the mid forearm. I'm gonna have to put this toy away. Thought she didn't feel good today. And you have 2 options. If it's too much for you to come all the way up onto the length of your legs, onto the outside of your feet, then you can stay on your knees and press the hips up. But make sure that the hips and the shoulders stay in alignment and that you don't rock in any direction. Otherwise, stack the feet out behind you and press out of the ground. Keep the legs long and engaged. And we're gonna press pause real quick. Okay, and we're back. So sad when you have to put the puppies away, but we're here to work. We're here to focus together. So press down, lift up in whichever variation. Take that top arm up. Now, if you do need a little low support, go ahead and place a hand here. Otherwise, that arm's up nice and high. You can also stack the feet, the legs, if you're feeling really strong. We're gonna sink into that shoulder girdle. Press right back out for 5 and 4. 3, whew, that's strong. 2, 1 more, and separate the shoulder blade from the spine. Take the top foot behind you, turn your shoulder and your hip open that arm for balance, and then sweep it forward, come low. So if we were to look at how that might have practiced on the knees, it's very similar. We're coming up here, same movement in the shoulder, foot just tucks behind. We turn the shoulder open, sweep, and restack, and come low, okay? So in case you wondered if you did it right, 9 times out of 10, you got it. All right, switch sides. We're just swiveling the hips. Again, down on that forearm. Pick the way that you're stacking your knees, your feet, your legs, and let's press on up. And we're lowering and lifting for 5 and 4, 3 and 2. Really let the shoulder blade kiss the spine and get it out of there on 1. Take that top foot directly behind the knee. Turn the shoulder open, so we're hinging open shoulder and heart, taking that arm nice and wide, sweeping it forward quickly with a little momentum. Stack the legs, stack the hips, bring them down, and come center. And then let's just move into a very simple lift and lower of the entire body. So it's kind of like an overhead press, but without any weight. So we're creating our own weight. We're going to imagine someone's pushing our arms down, and that's called creating resistance in your own body. So make sure your toes are stretched right and left. Your ankles are long and flat on the ground. We're going to press up and then resist as if someone's pulling you up on the way down. So again, pushing as if someone's pressing you down and pulling as if someone's dragging you up. We have 6 and resist, and 5. Lower down, keep it moving. We have 4 and resist, I turn sideways because I want you to see I'm keeping my head and heart and hips stacked rather than hinging forward to come up. 1, and resist. So take a moment here, arms down at your sides, just roll your shoulders back because we're going to practice that one again and really focus now, not just on the resistance we're creating, but the alignment of the spine. Again, head over heart over center of pelvis. So let's go again. Let's find those goalpost arms and resist on the way up, resist on the way down. For 7. And take it down. 6. Throw a smile on that face. Remind yourself that you're happy to be here. 5. I know it's work, but it's work heading towards the transformation and the way you want to look and feel in your body. And 3. Woo! I feel it in my legs, y'all. I snuck that part in. 2. And resist. One more time. Take it up. Take it down, and let's come forward again. Palms right underneath shoulders. Tuck the toes. Walk the hands just a smidgen forward. Again, bend the elbows wide. Hug the biceps underneath the chest, and let's slow motion push the mat forward. Float the knees. We've done this before now, and slowly add those imaginary grains of sand to the heels as the thigh muscles get stronger. And hug towards the bone of the thighs. And gravity takes control of the length of the legs. So let the knees stay bent for a moment. Turn the fingertips in towards one another. And let's just do an angled overhead push-up here. So it's like you're bringing your hairline right between your thumbs and pressing away. For 7. Reach through the fingertips. Keep the knuckles engaged with the floor, otherwise it dumps in the wrist. And 5. Lower slowly. Press quick. 4. And 3. Lower. 2. 1 more. Turn the palms in alignment with the elbows and shoulders again. Walk the toes back just a smidgen. Press a little longer into downward facing dog. Roll the spine forward and reach just past the wrists. Then lift the hips up and find some articulation in the back as you move into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's do 2 more. Pull the navel to the spine, the heart through the back of the body. Ripple and shift forward long. Hips go high, push the mat forward, heels get heavy, and downward facing dog. Last time. Roll with control. Shift, hips lift, and get longer. Now here, holding, try and lengthen through the fingertips, wrap those shoulders, make sure the shoulder blades are away from the spine. Push the ground away, let the heels get heavier. Weave the ribs in towards one another like we've been doing in our Pilates practice so that we're not flaring and we're actually breathing deep into the greatest space where volume is accessible in the lower lobes of the lungs and the back body. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, shift forward on 1, chaturanga, all the way down to the mat. And let's check our time, because you know I'm really working on this whole timeliness thing. And let's take the arms to the sides, turning the palms up. So notice that my thumbs go to the floor and then palms to the sky. And then lengthen the legs, reach wide through the toes, put the shoulder heads on the ground and spread the fingertips far away from the mid-back. Now we're going to, my chin is tucked, but bring your nose and your lips kiss the ground. I have to be able to talk to you. And then reach out and hug the shoulder blades together like you're taking flight. If you can, you may have to watch on this one. Turn the palms down, bend the elbows, and then turn the palms up, lengthen, lower back down. So it's quite the choreography. Let me show it one more time. Press the shoulder heads down to lift the palms up. Turn the palms down, not the shoulders, the palms down, bend the elbows, take your wings a little higher. Turn the palms up, lengthen, and lower down. Notice that that gives us a little more height. So we've got 5 of these. Palms are up, shoulders are heavy, abs are lifted, and we press into the ground to float our wings up. We turn only the tips of our fingertips, sort of like turning, what are those called? I'm so bad about this. I'm not into the whole aviary lifestyle as much as maybe you might think, considering all my animals. Bend those elbows, turn the palms over, stretch the arms higher, lengthen out, come down, and that is some upper back work, baby. Now, whatever, I'll come back to it. You know, when you clip, it's such a sad thing. They clip the feathers at the end of birds' wings. Those are the ones we're turning over. It's the only reason I can think to reference that. It's so sad. Okay, so pull the belly to the back, lengthen the legs, reach long, shoulders heavy, wings take flight. Turn only the palms over, bend the elbows higher, flip the palms again, take the wings higher, lengthen out to lower down. We have 3 more. Shoulders heavy, take flight, palms over, elbows higher, flip the palms and lengthen out from where you took the elbows up and lower down. Last time, I know this one's tricky. Play with it on your own if you really want to build that upper back strength and that nice definition between the shoulder blades as well. Lengthen out, lift up, and flip the palms, bend the elbows, lengthen out further, and lower down. And right away, drag the hands to where the thumbs only are touching the edge of your mat, and they're right sort of in alignment with your armpit. Grab the ground with your spider fingers, suction the energy of the earth up into the center of your palm. And then we did these ripples last week. So pull the belly button to the back, roll the spine up, draw the elbows back, lift the chest up and hold. We've got a pretty warm upper body at this point, so pulling the body back, tucking the bum under to lift the pubic bone towards the nose, and then roll the spine down like you're laying down a silk pillowcase with not a single ripple in it. Let's do that 3 more times. Strong legs, you can keep them wide. In fact, I encourage it so that you don't have any crunching around the sacrum. And then suction the ground up with your palms and your navel and roll on up. Pull the elbows back, the shoulders down, reach the pubic bone past the top of your mat, and then lengthen the body down, nice and long. We have 1 more, yoginis. Let's do this. All right, suction everything up. Here we go. And exhale. Pull, ripple, lengthen, breathe in, and exhale. Get longer on the way down. Let's bring the forearms underneath us like a Sphinx. 1 more check on the time. I think we're doing great today. Push the ground down, come out of those shoulder blades. Let's tuck the toes. Make sure the body's a little bit more forward. Again, just a smidgen. That's my favorite little measurement today, apparently. Get out of the shoulder blades. In fact, let's start a little lower. So push out of the shoulder blades, pull the belly to the back, and then maybe come to the knees, or maybe lengthen the thighs up and look forward. And then wave the body back down, pull the mat back like a little Egyptian Sphinx. Then sink into the shoulders again, push the ground away, move the heart to the sky first, then the navel, then the low back, then the thighs, and then ripple in reverse to come down, open the heart up. Let's do 2 more just like that. This one's nice and fun, and it really sneaks in the whole body. Keep the wrist and the length of the fingertips down. press the heart through the shoulders. Push the mat away and ripple, roll the body up, get long. And then as soon as you're back, bring the heels forward, the hips forward, and melt it all through. Pull the heart through the gate of the arms, lengthen the neck. And last time, sink and press and swallow the abdomen up into the back, lengthen and stretch. And now let's push the mat forward, walk the feet forward, and move into a dolphin. Pull the mat towards you. It's a long dolphin right now. We're not that warm. If you want to go a little more shallow, you can. It's not necessary. Just keep hugging the elbows towards the midline. Look from the heart towards the fingertips, not a big snap in the back of the neck. And then bring the knees to the floor. Release the ankles. Sit the hips back to the heels. Stretch the arms long and breathe in a child's pose for just a few moments. Upper body is strong. Let's take the arms back alongside the body. Turn the palms up next to the feet. And then start to bend the elbows and let the hands slide closer to the knees. Snuggle the elbows up in alignment with the ribs. Extend the palms long in a tricep extension, and let's stay here. Bend and keep the elbows glued to the side body. Extend for 9 and lengthen. 8. Press the air up strong. 7 and 6. Get the shoulders out of the face. 5 and 4. Exhale. 3, 2, see if you can use the exhale to pull the belly button to the back. 1 more, and lengthen. Now bend here. Pull the belly up, roll the spine high. Lift the elbows, lengthen the arms, come up high on the knees, full circle. Arms come up and overhead, and right back down. And let's do 2 more of those to close our session. So arms up, slice forward like we did last week. Pull the palms under the shoulders. Bring the elbows up high to the ribs. Extend 1. Bend again and roll the navel and the back all the way up. Lift the elbows, extend the legs high and heart high. Come through the middle. 1 more time, mini salutation, lift up. Exhale, slice the ground with the wrists, the backs of the arms, lengthen into child's pose. Drag your hands back by your knees, elbows high. 1 tricep extension in your child's pose. Bend the elbows, start to roll the spine up, lift the elbows higher as the chest comes level over the hips. Extend the arms, lift the hips. Arms and head go high. Exhale through the third eye ajna into the heart. Hips come down. And that's quite a bit of heat to put into the upper body, wouldn't you say? Let's lift the heart high and bow the head into that sacred space. Take a moment to feel the beating of your heart just beneath the press of your thumbs into your chest. Take a moment to acknowledge the breath arriving in the body, fueling your next moment, and the next, and the next. And with so much gratitude for these things we get to receive, that we get to have, and these movements that we get to do, to perform, to experience. No one says we have to, we choose to because we get to. We seal our practice with so much love, self-love, like a drop in the middle of the ocean, rippling out into waves of love to everyone we encounter. So much gratitude, so much awareness, so much love. Namaste. Thank you so so much for showing up for this, your 7th day or your 2nd day of this week in your Toned in 20 by 2. Again, 20 minutes in 2 weeks. So much evolution, so much change and transformation, so much strength and stretch and energy coming through in just these 2 weeks we're sharing together. And I want you to truly take inventory of that. See what's happening for you, what you're getting to do, and what more you could get to do, and what more you could experience as we move closer and closer towards practicing together in our Burnout to Badass Body Evolution, your 8-week program, challenging you to move into the highest heights and greatest physical experience of your life. I'll see you tomorrow. Go have a beautiful day.